We're in downtown Las Vegas. We're at Pizza Rock, and we're having our lunch down here. I just wanted to say thank you for all the nice folks that came out for our live stream. And if you recall, I had a tiny bit of a room tour in there of my office and what we do at Studio A. I got the whole thing done, and I'm going to show it to you right now. All right, my friends, you wanted to see the office? Let's go check it out. This, of course, is my homage to my alter ego, Durango Dale. Actually signed that. Boy, I tell you what, that might be worth probably nothing. I love this character. I created him for the channel, and he's just like my alter ego. He's who I want to be. He's so happy, and really, the only thing that really upsets him is when people aren't very nice. Durango Dale, the opening to my office, which is called, appropriately enough, Studio A. Let's do a quick little pan here. These are some of the pictures that I have up. Now, I have a lot more pictures stashed away, and maybe one day we'll get those out, and we'll talk about them. But as for today, let's just do what the office looks like. And we'll start over here with some of my favorite pictures that I have on the wall. Let's start here. I always do have Christmas up 365 days a year. Just a piece of Christmas. I love Christmas. It just reminds me of Christmas every single day of the year. This, my friends, is Tom Patterson. We worked together in the mid-1970s. And let's see what he says here. This was 1974. He gave me this picture. We did muscular dystrophy benefits. We went to the summer camps for the kids and did shows for the kids, and we did other shows together as well. He's just a wonderful performer. He was on the Tonight Show several times, and I'll be honest with you, we looked him up on the internet. I can't find anything about him. I would love to know where he is. I'd love to talk to him again, but that's Tom Patterson. Great guy. Worked with him in the mid-1970s. Now, I don't know how many of you remember that there was actually an Elvis museum on Industrial Road in Las Vegas, right behind the Strip, which it's now called Dean Martin. But this young lady, we went in there to visit. This young lady, her name is Darlene Tompkins, I think. She was there, and she was signing autographs, and she was in Blue Hawaii. She played Patsy Simon, I think, in Blue Hawaii, and she was just a wonderful lady. She told us some stories about Elvis, which maybe someday I'll get into and tell you what she told us. Over here, family friend, wonderful performer, Kay Ballard. She was a good friend of my Aunt Virginia's. They went to school together, and she became quite a big star. She had her own TV show in the 70s, I think it was, her and Eve Arden. And she also was in a lot of movies. And a bunch of TV shows. She was on Batman back then in the 60s. Wonderful person. She wrote to me, it says, show business tough and hard. You are truly good. It was one of those things where, I think I needed a boost. And she sent that and said, don't quit. Here we go. One of my good friends, best friends in the world, Mia Hess. She was in a show that me and Harry Hershey created called Victory 1945, and this is her doing her Carmen Miranda impression, and me behind her. I played guitar for her behind her, and we also did a little dance, if you can believe that or not. But here's a little story about Mia. Her stage name was Mia Nurley. Her real name was Mia Hess. She was she was just the craziest person you ever saw. I worked with her for many years. But if you ever saw the movie A Christmas Story, at the very beginning, when the kids are standing in front of all the toys and looking and ogling at the, the gun and all the boats and everything, the models in there, the person behind those kids in the WAC uniform was Mia. And the person next to her was her husband at the time, now her ex-husband. But you'll always know now that when you look at that movie, that was my good buddy Mia. He even has a website about it, talking all about it. All right, let's get back to it. All right, let's move down the road. I worked with this fellow for many years. We had a duo. He played many instruments, and I played my guitar and banjo. Unfortunately, we don't talk anymore. That makes me very sad, but you know, things happen. And but it was a great duo, and we did have a wonderful time. In fact, I think that duo was one of the best things that I ever did. And finally, on top up here, Wayne Newton. We got this picture on Paula's birthday. We went to see Wayne at the Stardust. I was playing at the Westward Ho at the time, and he gave Paula a kiss, and we got this autographed picture of him. Love Wayne. I've got several pictures of Wayne in the office, and we'll show them to you as we go along. My one little part of fame, I guess you might call it, I did 3 CDs in my life. Actually, I did a couple more than that, but 3 that actually went out. They were never particularly good. There's one that's still out there, and I don't recommend you getting it because it really isn't that good. But I do have a couple of these left. This is what I used to give away when I was working in the lounge. I have a couple. If anybody's interested, I don't know. I just might give them to you. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, this is my 3 CDs. We're on the back wall right now where all the pictures are. This was not my first guitar I ever owned, but it was one of the first. Normally, I would get a guitar and then I would trade it in for another guitar. But this was an Eddie Rabbitt guitar. I don't know if you remember him. He was a country star. I love this guitar. I played it everywhere. If you look down here, you can still see it's got a big old scratch in it. In fact, it's a crack. But I love this guitar. Just absolutely loved it. Played with it everywhere I went. Up on the top wall, oh boy, we have got a lot of folks up there. This is Michael Kennedy. I worked with him for a year and a half, more than that, at the Westward Ho. He was the ambassador. When you walked in the door, Michael Kennedy greeted you and said hi, and he was always there every single day. Honestly, this man worked 7 days a week, and 2 of those days he would do his show in the lounge where I was. Wonderful, wonderful guy. Kind of a pain in the butt, though, when I was taking a break. He would always try to just, egg me on. In fact, I remember one time he came over and he said, "Dale, come on, can you rub my feet? How about you rub my back? Could you just please rub my feet for me? I'm really tired." And I would say no, of course. But anyway, he was a funny guy, Michael Kennedy. I really love that guy. All right, let's go down to the bottom row here. And that's just a picture of Sammy that I have. I love that picture. This fellow here is, I worked with him for 2 years, and there's a story behind this, and I'll tell you that a little bit later on. But he was a wonderful piano player, one of the best ragtime piano players you ever hear in the world. We worked for a long time together, and this is when I first played the banjo, and I played it with him. Another one of my pictures of Wayne Newton. This was taken at the MGM Grand. He was doing a show over there, and we stuck around and got a picture with him. Mr. Peterman, yes, from Seinfeld. He had a book out. I will insert the book right here. I can't remember what the name of it is, but he had a book out. And we went to see him. He was talking about that book, and his little boy was there getting into mischief. It was so much fun. He just told all kinds of old stories about Seinfeld, and it was a wonderful evening. And I was the first one to get on stage and get a picture with him. This one is a big deal. Got this at the Hilton Hotel in Las Vegas when Liberace was playing there. Now, of course, we were going to do a history of Liberace this week, but it was so involved, as we told you, I think we told you anyway, we just had to scrap it for right now. We're not going to scrap it, we're going to bring it out, but it's going to take weeks to put it together. It's so intricate, we have so much information, and we just definitely want you guys to see it. But I'm very proud of having Liberace's autograph. This picture I talked about before. This is a picture that I went around with me wherever I played. He was just a nice man that told me to, I think you can read it right there. It says, "Dale, stick with it. Rudy Valley." What a wonderful performer. Up here on the top wall, I don't have a lot of Showbiz pictures up here because we really love the Cowboys and the Cowboys in the movies. Paul, let's go down the row. You tell him, I'll point to him, you tell him.
That's James Drury. He's the Virginian.
Yep.
That is Robert Fuller. He was on Wagon Train, Be Still My Heart. That is Ty Hardin. He was Bronco.
Now this is my favorite picture because I just love this man. He just recently died here a couple of years ago, but he was just a wonderful, wonderful guy, Clint Walker, and that, of course, was Cheyenne. Let's talk about Disney, right? Who's this, Paul?
This is Tommy Kirk from old Disney days.
And here's another one of my favorite guys, and he was so gracious to sign this autograph. This is to Paul and Dale. Warm wishes and sincerely from Dwayne Hickman, Dobie Gillis. Dobie Gillis. And who do we have here?
That is, of course, Mr. Charlie Daniels. We saw him in concert here in Vegas.
Next to all those pictures is the oldest thing I have in the house. This banjo is 55 years old. This is the first banjo I ever bought, and I used it for many, many years. In fact, that fellow that I showed you who played the piano, this is the banjo that was in the picture. There's a story about this, and I'll tell that to you right now. I got this banjo before I even knew how to play the banjo. I was going to work, actually I was a cook, and I heard, let me look at the camera on this, and I heard that they were looking for a banjo player to play with this guy that plays piano, the fella that you just saw in the other picture. And I told them, I said, I play the banjo, and they said, oh, come in tomorrow, we'll audition you. Guess what, my friends? I didn't even own a banjo. I never picked one up in my life. So I went to a local music store, and I got this banjo. It cost $60. It was the cheapest banjo you could get. I learned as many chords as I could, and I played with this guy for a year and a half. I will never get rid of this banjo. Actually, I invented that little name there. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I will never get rid of this banjo. It has so many good memories for me. And here you guys are seeing it right now. And there you go. The first banjo I ever had. It actually rings when you talk in here because the resonator is still so good. It actually rings. One more picture on this side of the office, and that's this poster. This was given to me by an artist in California. He does avant-garde stuff. I just loved this. It's his interpretation of the Las Vegas stuff. What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. And his name was Austin Tucker. Well, it is Austin Tucker. He's still with us. All right, finally, we get to the back wall. These are two pictures that are very important in my life because, well, I'll tell you about this one. I was working in one room and they were working in the other. That's the Spinners. But this one, Paul and I went to an antique store in Boulder City, and I saw this picture in the corner, and I said, boy, that looks a lot like Fred Astaire. And when I got closer to it, I noticed that it was actually signed by Fred Astaire. So I bought it. It was $35. I went and had it appraised a couple of weeks later, and now they told me it's worth $250. So that was quite a find at an antique store. My good friend Bryn, she sends me pictures all the time. I just love her. Where does she live?
Well, both of us.
Well, you get
Pennsylvania.
well, this is my office, though.
You're Cowboy Grandpa.
Yeah, I'm Cowboy Grandpa to her. She sends me these pictures all the time. I'm not going to go into these up too much, except for one of them. You see Wayne Newton over there on top. Ron Lucas, amazing ventriloquist here in Las Vegas. And Frank Caliendo was doing a live, I think it was for Comic Central, and we went there and got his autograph there. But this picture, my friends, has history with me, and I'm going to tell you that story right now. George Burns, what a guy. Let me tell you, back in 1975, before I moved to Las Vegas, this is a sad story, but before I moved to Las Vegas, I got very, very sick. As a matter of fact, I was playing in a club, and as I was walking up to the steps to the stage, I passed out, and I passed out in the bartender's arms. And they stuck me in a room. My ex-wife, of course, was miles and miles away. She had to come and they never called an ambulance or anything. They just stuck me in a room. But anyway, I was in a wheelchair for a year and a half after that. I had a thing called Meniere's disease and Guillain-Barré syndrome, something, I don't know, anyway, it was very bad. Anyway, I wanted to see George Burns. He was coming and he was going to play live at this club, and he was going to be with Carol Channing, and they were going to do the George Burns Gracie Allen act. I had to see it. I just had to see it. After it was over, I said, I just got to get his autograph. They said implicitly, He is not going to sign autographs. He doesn't want to take pictures with anybody. But I said, can I just stand by the stage door when he walks out? I just want to see him when he walks out. And guess what? The minute he walked out the stage door, zoom, he went right to me. I don't know if it was because I was in a wheelchair, but he was an amazing, amazing, nice man. I just love that picture. It brings back some bad memories, but it also just brings back good memories because I actually got to see him just prior to his passing away. One more poster here from the Luxor, the show Fantasy, one of the best shows on the Strip. And if you get a chance, go and check it out. We were lucky enough to get there and have these ladies that were in the show that we saw that night. Every one of them signed the poster. Now they are not dressed, but I don't think you can actually see anything. I don't think I'll get dinged. But there you go. This, my friends, is my office.